Welcome to Scarcity Managers series on how to fix your slow eBay sales. This is actually a huge, massive tip. This is number 2. Stay around till the end and we will show you how to actually fix this. And first we're going to explain what it actually is. Okay, so it is how to decrease your INR rating. That's your item not received rating. Okay, so we're going to discuss the elephant in the room. Okay, we're going to talk about this elephant. This elephant is dropshipping. How does eBay know he's dropshipping? And why are they targeting him all of a sudden? Things were fine before. So these are the eBay execs. They work for eBay. How are they on to the elephant? Is eBay targeting you? There's been a lot of misinformation out there spreading the false idea that eBay targets people who are using third-party software with their eBay businesses. That is not it, my peoples. That was spread by a software application that had their eBay API rights revoked. The only way they could stay in business was to offer a Chrome extension, okay? That's how they got around that. And that is where this source of this false belief has come from. Scarcity Manager has both. We have an API that connects directly to eBay, and we also have a Chrome extension. So if that's still your belief system, you can go ahead and use that. However, I can assure you, whoopsie-daisy, that is not how you're being detected by eBay. That's not why they're targeting you. And we know that eBay does allow third-party fulfillment. So what gives? Sellers not receiving items they have purchased is the red flag that puts them onto you. It is a high R&R rating that is putting you on eBay's radar. It is not third-party software that gets you in trouble. It is your poor INR rating. This is super important to understand because hardly anybody is aware of it. So eBay is looking into their crystal ball and can see all the eBay sellers whose INR rating is below average. So what is your R&R rating? Your R&R rating is one component of your service metrics. It stands, of course, for item not received. There are 2 service metrics. First is item not as described, and the second is item not received. We're doing the second, the INR, because lots of people are aware of item not as described, and that's not what makes you stand out. Okay, so let's have a look. Item not as described. Item not as described is a common element amongst all eBay sellers. This is important to understand. Whether they are holding their own stock or they are not, they're drop shipping using third-party fulfillment. So unless you're a dodgy brothers eBay seller, you shouldn't have a problem with this metric. It's pretty simple. You describe the item clearly, don't be misleading, and you've got this one well and truly in the bag. Okay, number 2, item not received, INR. If you're a dropshipper, this metric is what you need to watch and watch very closely. This metric is what makes you stand out above all others. This is eBay's crystal ball. They can look into to sort out the wheat from the chaff and who is not in compliance. Okay, this is how they find the elephants. Okay, so how to find it? It's under eBay Seller Hub or My eBay, Performance, go to your drop-down menu, Service Metrics. Okay, so this is your Service Metrics dashboard. There'll be the tab on the left, Item Not as Described, and then there's another grayed out tab, Item Not Received, which, funnily enough, heaps of people are completely unaware of. So see it there? This grayed out tab? This is what you really need to be, you need to have your eyes on the prize as far as this information goes. Okay, so Service Metric came into effect in June 2018. So what we have here, if you are on the INR tab, is there's a thermometer, and you will have your rating on this thermometer, and so will your peers. And then here on the left, they'll give you what your INR rating is. So let's have a closer look at that literally. Okay, so here's an example. This is the eBay seller. They're at 0.76%, and they are a little bit higher than their peers. However, it's not super freak out. They are still in the average zone here. Okay, so let's have a look. The thermometer, you are at 0.76% and your peers are at 0.58%. Okay, so this is an example of someone's R&R rating that is super high. They've only done 6 transactions, and out of those 6, 1 was not received, so therefore their rating is 16.67%, which is, that's not good. Okay, now looking at this closer example of the metrics on the left. Okay, so this seller who we're using as an example has had a total of 3,924 transactions. 30 of them have not been received. So if we divide 30 into that figure, we have a 0.76% INR rating. Okay, that's how they're doing it. And they're calculating it always on the go, taking into account transactions that are still in process. Okay, so your INR rating is eBay's red flag for dropshippers. That is how you are coming under their radar, not from using third-party software. It's this, your INR rating. That's what it's all about. Okay, so to make things even a little scarier, starting from July 24th, which was only days ago, eBay has launched the shipping performance policy item not received rate. So basically, it's they're fine-tuning the R&I rate even more. So you really, really have to keep on top of this. Okay, so this is a low and average rating, high and very high, and this is what puts you on their radar, and you need to be in this area here. Okay, so you need to keep your rating average to below average. Okay, let's get to the good stuff. Item not received, how to bring your rating down. Okay, so we'll go through each of these one by one. This is a summary. Number 1, use tracking. 2, set yourself realistic shipment times. 3, use a reliable carrier. 4, set up realistic expectations on delivery time. So that is different than number 2. 5, only use suppliers that can dispatch in a maximum of 2 business days. And 6, do everything you can to ensure that you can actually send the item. Okay, let's go through them. 1, using tracking. If you don't use tracking, then you basically don't have a leg to stand on. I've read reports of customers lodging an INR case the day after they purchased. Like ludicrous, right? The item was not even dispatched yet, so it had gone missing. Why did eBay even allow this to occur? Because there was no tracking number. So the bottom line is, if you don't have tracking, you're stuffed, and eBay will always favor the buyer. Use tracking. Okay, set up realistic shipment times. If your INR rating gets too high, one of the things eBay will come and impose on you themselves is extending your shipping times to something more realistic. So save yourself the trouble and start with them instead. You need to find a balance. If it is too short, you'll get into trouble. If it's too long, your competitors may become more appealing. Okay, so here's some examples. Now, this is a real example for the same item, which is like a tiered fruit stand. So when I actually viewed this item, it was 6 days from when I viewed it. So this particular one here in South Australia is 6 days from the day I viewed it, and it had a 3-day window for delivery, so that's quite short. And then I found for the exact same item another seller who was a 15-day delivery window, 15-day dispatch from the day I looked at it, and a 5-day delivery window. So you need to find a sweet spot of something that's doable. Okay, you don't want to set yourself up to fail, but you don't want to have it so far in the future either that the buyer's like, well, I can get that quicker from overseas, for example. Okay, so number 3 is use a reliable carrier. So this is a no-brainer. If your carrier is too slow and the tracking is not reliable or accurate, you need to change your carrier. Here in Australia, Australia Post e-parcel is pretty reliable and it comes with tracking. Then there are many other popular courier options which are all trackable. Number 4, okay, set up realistic expectations. Okay, so this looks like a double up with point number 2, setting up realistic shipment times. Over here, we are talking about automated communication with your buyer. This is one of the unique features that Scarcity Manager offers. It's called the eBay Email Autoresponder feature. This comes with our Premium Platinum Plus plan, It enables you to communicate with your buyer and send out 2 timed pre-scripted emails automatically to set yourself up for success. So that's pretty huge, as eBay does not allow you to contact the customer outside of the normal means of communication. However, we tap into the API and we can have you send automated emails to your buyers. Okay, so here's how it works. Here's an example of email number 1. This is from our demo account. Okay, so you can fill in the subject as you wish and the body as you wish. And then you can set up when you want that email to fire off. Then you can set up another email. This is an example of email 2. The example has your order has been dispatched. Now there's quite a bit of body copy in here, which I'll go on the next slide. And then you can select here, as per the previous, you can select right away, day 1, 2, or 3. Okay, and then save that autoresponder, and then they will automatically be sent off to your buyers. Okay, so let's have a closer look. Let's have a closer look at email 2 content. Okay, so it says, we're pleased to advise your order has been dispatched. Please make note of the following delivery times, yada yada, Victoria, the following states. Okay, so it breaks down how long, if they're, for instance, in Tasmania, they're going to go, oh, okay, I can expect delivery between this and that many days, okay? And then you can also put down anything, that's applicable, delivery limitations we all need to consider. So we've got things like record volume of online sales, fewer flights, fewer trucks, all these things that have been impacted and imposed on us from COVID, natural disasters, for instance, all the flooding, bushfires. Okay, so this is the second part of this email. We're doing our best to get your delivery to you in the least amount of time possible. However, please take into consideration we live in a different world today. We're all in this together. Please feel free to reach out to us with the following methods. So we've got email, phone, text or SMS, WhatsApp, Facebook. Okay, those are just ideas. The more ways you enable your buyer to make contact with you, the better feedback you will have. Things will go smoothly for you, and the lower your INR rating will be. So, okay, now Chris is one of our longtime users, and if you want to have a look at this video here, it is actually an excerpt of one of his bigger videos where he actually specifically says how he uses this feature to his advantage in his store, and he is a full-time eBay seller, so you can check that out. So next slide. Okay, number 5, only use suppliers with 1 to 2 day dispatch times. Like, this is super important, no-brainer. This is an example of a seller that we support. It's D-Shop, I think. It leaves in 1 business day. Okay, now 6, this is super important. You need to actually send the item. Does your supplier have stock? Do you have methodology in place to continually check all the items you have listed on a regular basis? Selling items that your supplier has sold out of creates an oversell situation. eBay knows on average how many INR cases each seller receives in comparison to the sales they have made. This is very important. So that's how the elephants really get spotted. Your supplier has run out of stock, so you have to cancel the sale. There are only 2 outcomes here. 1, you can convince the customer to cancel the sale. 2, you have to cancel the sale. It's usually 2. So number 2 outcome is not a good outcome and will make your INR rating go up. That is a massive contributor to how the elephants are being spotted. Okay, so on Scarcity Manager's homepage, we have now made available the suppliers that we support for supplier inventory checking and supplier repricing. So you click on this button here, it'll take you to the list. It looks like that here, like this here. So these are the suppliers we currently check for both these features, supplier inventory checking and supplier repricing. However, As it states here, we currently support over 300 more suppliers for supplier inventory checking. So if you want to inquire about that, please contact Scarcity Manager about the suppliers that you wish to have supported. Okay, so we'll just quick recap on how to bring your rating down. Use tracking, set realistic shipment times, use a reliable carrier, set up realistic expectations on delivery times, only use suppliers that can dispatch in a maximum of 2 business days, and do everything you possibly can to ensure you can actually send the item. Okay, so that's it for this tip. Other video tutorials to increase sales. Okay, so this is our eBay email autoresponder. It's on our blog, and I'll leave a link for that below. I've already talked in length about that. And here is how to automate supplier inventory checking. Again, an excerpt from a testimonial on how a full-time eBay dropshipper is using supplier inventory checking to help minimize this and bring his R&I rating down. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video, and stay tuned for next week's video where we have another tip. So consider subscribing to our channel so you don't miss out.